Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life at Aspie. If you're new, welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome and the host of mental health conditions, along with tips and advice along the way. In saying this also, with the tips and advice, it can be based on your general health versus your mental health and in between, as well as some other bits and pieces that you may have seen floating about. So if you're into any of these, feel free to join me on the bandwagon by smashing the subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner, and if you do so decide to be with me as part of the YouTube family, feel free to also turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos like these and much more that is coming in the future. So today, as it reads, basically this one's going to be a quick guide or video guide for you guys, or the ones that are autistics, basically to become less shy. Just as a disclaimer as always as well, before I begin this, is I'm no medical doctor. I'm just your normal everyday Joe Blogs. So if you see anything out of the ordinary, do seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, or seek professional second opinion for yourself or your loved one, because I don't forever condone self-harm. So what I'm saying here right now is, as we know, basically, many people tend to think for us autistics, as I said in one of my previous videos, which I'll link in the I-bar, based on the non-verbal versus the verbal autistics, that were just socially awkward, shy, intimidating, and the like, right? You know, and some of the normals or normies or some other namesake that for normal people that doesn't have this condition basically tend to just find it really hard to just go about their way to accept us in their circle. And like I said before, I'm all about acceptance as well as inclusion, not exclusion. So for some of us on the autism spectrum, some of us may have the tendency to have difficulties to interact with people. You know, some of us may feel confused into how to start a conversation or how to join in without looking weird or awkward or what have you. And saying this, hopefully most of us may feel worried about people disliking us for who and what we are because of our differences, for something we may say or do, or how we think, act, and whatnot. Don't fret, Aspie's here obviously to hopefully help you out, and hopefully in saying some of this will get rid of some of your shyness for good, or just some of the shyness if you're embracing it and actually accepting that part of your, you know, characteristic trait that, you know, you're shy. So hopefully in saying this, with the steps below, or with the steps I'm sharing with you today, will shake off your anxiety and hopefully make you feel more comfortable in approaching to people and talking to people. So they've broken down to hopefully 3 different methods, just to heads up also. So method number 1, first and foremost, is identifying your fears. And step number 1 into this is make a list. Write down a list of everything you can think of that is preventing you from socializing with other people. Again, I have done a video about this, about making lists, and I'll link it in the I-bar above me as well as below me, so that you can follow through after this video if you want to know more of what I'm talking about, just in case, just to get to know us more as an autistic. So what I'm meaning here is basically you could make sure when you're doing the list to organize the list into the 3 categories. You know, like the first one is confusing, things that you don't know how to do or have trouble doing. Example wise, maybe you have trouble joining groups, don't know how to make a joke, etc, etc. As I said before, there's some autistics may not know what a joke is and whatnot. So again, I'll link one about the avoiding sarcasm and making jokes if I have done in the I-bar and in the description. Again, feel free to watch that either during this video or after this one. As this, another one is worried. Fears that may have prevent you from socializing. You know, it's especially important to not exclude anything from this list, obviously, no matter how ridiculous you may seem to think how it is, big or small. You know, because obviously at this point in time, you know, you have to write down everything in order to face and conquer it at all costs, to get rid of it. Examples wise is that maybe you're worried you'll give yourself a bad reputation. You're maybe afraid that your stimming will come off weird, you know, when you're at a party with somebody. Worried that you might look like just an idiot saying hi, or what have you. Excuses is the 3rd part of the list. This is like something that is used to make for avoiding social interaction completely. Okay. Examples for this is you're eating lunch at home, so you don't have to go out with friends, doing extra work so you can tell people that you're busy and when you're not, maybe etc., etc. Number 2 on this method is look over your worries. After you've written down the list of your worries or what have you, of basically what I mentioned, is even if you feel any of them may sound ridiculous to you when you were writing them down in the first place, don't overthink that, because obviously, as I said, it's of importance to conquer all. Then you are already on your way to getting rid of some of your shyness. Put a star next to any of the worries that may sound ridiculous to you. Right, number 3 in this is basically examine your excuses. As a shy person on the spectrum, like me included, chances are that many of the excuses on your list will be things that you have set yourself up to avoid the anxiety of social interactions. As I said before, with autism comes into a spectrum of different other conditions that we come into that parcel. Some of us may have the diagnosis of anxiety, social anxiety versus bipolar, ADHD and stuff, and sometimes it has been misdiagnosed. So I'll put that in there hopefully in the description about the diagnosing autistics. But in the meantime, however, like, you got to remember that you have to put an X next to the excuses that either you have set up yourself or can be easily worked around for you. This is an important step because obviously you can be completely honest with yourself as you are doing this. Avoid rationalizing these excuses hopefully in your head. When in doubt, X it out. That's how I look at it. Number 4, eliminate your excuses. Give yourself a set time period or a blocked time period to gradually phase out your use of the excuses that you did for step number 3. As a general rule, this timeline should be long enough to ease you into social interactions at a pace that's gradual enough to keep you from feeling so stressed out, but not so long that you feel like you're wasting your life away. Remember that you don't need to stop using excuses completely. Just be gentle on yourself and give yourself the quiet time you need when needed. Number 5, consider the possibility of social anxiety disorder. Again, as I said before, I've done some video series based on social anxiety disorders, which I'll link in over as well as in the description if you want to go see those as well, so that you can get and to know the difference between social anxiety and maybe shyness and all these other confusion terminology I may be using. You may have this if your fears of socializing are interfering with your ability to function normally or do the things you want to do. This is me included. Anxiety disorders can be treated with therapy and or medication, but this will basically vary from person to person in this retrospect, so find what's best well suited for you when you are either diagnosed with social anxiety and whatnot, because obviously everybody will do it in a different way of a coping mechanism for this. So another thing to bear in mind also is research the social anxiety. Is there something that you have? Do the techniques sound like that they may help you in the long run? Find what's best suited for you and stick with them. Or if it doesn't, on the other hand, try it again another time. Just little baby steps at a time here. Now, second method to look at is your learning, right? Number 1, learn the confusing things. If you don't know how to do something, ask someone. Never be afraid to ask for help. You may go to an autistic support teacher, a counselor, a family member, a close friend, or someone else that you know about your social skills and is willing to provide the help for you. Go out and practice the skills you learn as often as you can. You will make some mistakes, but after all, we're still humans and accept those mistakes. But they will help you to learn what to avoid, and they are totally worth it. You will get better and better over time. Number 2, learn to listen well. When you make conversations with someone, you don't need to talk the whole time of it. Many people love it if you let them do the talking. Practice showing interest in what they're talking about and ask questions to get them to talk more. Most people just want to be heard and have their feelings validated. This will then make them walk away from the conversation feeling happy and thinking that they like talking to you, as well as validating their feelings. Ask questions to clarify if need be if you still don't understand what they're talking about. Number 3, work on the body language. Stand up straight, look at the speaker. Eye contact isn't needed here as an advice here for you. Stand quietly as needed if need be, and nod or say to show that you are listening. You can try practice this in front of a mirror or with a therapist or a family member to whatever prevail of what makes you comfortable to do so with this. Number 4, examine your meltdown and overstimulation cues. Again, this will be in the I-bar and in the description of the Meltdown series playlist for you guys to have a look at if you want to learn more on this as well. It's important to know and learn when you are stressed so you can back out of the situations when needed if it's getting too overwhelming for you. You don't want to push yourself too hard, however, and it's important to take good care of yourself. It's okay to say no once in a while. It's okay to not feel okay one day to the next if we are having these meltdowns and stuff. Many people need to understand this as well. If it's too much for us, we need to basically just be ourselves and just rejuvenate and recuperate from what was going on around us. Number 5, read books and websites about social skills. Neurotypicals have social troubles too, remember this. So again, we're not humans here. So there are plenty of books you can read or go to the internet or what have you, right? There are also books to analyze people, become more liked, and become less afraid. They are then books written by, autistic people to be in mind also. Last step of this one is go to the autistic community. If you've got a group that you're in on Facebook, Twitter, or what have you, feel free to engage with them and share what's going on, because plenty of people in this section have faced a similar problem and they've learned to overcome it, and learn how to overcome it yourself with the help of them to be your support network if need be. Last but not least of the method 3 is reducing your fears. Number 1, face your fears. This is the longest and most difficult part of becoming less shy for most people on the spectrum. However, once your anxieties are gone, most of your shyness may leave with it. The 2 major components of doing this are as follows. Use gradual exposure. Right? So what you could do here is identify one general fear. Example-wise, fear of heights, strangers, and whatever it may be, and make a hierarchy, a list of things from least to most scary. Start with something at the bottom of the list that is least scary, and then work your way up to the top as you grow more comfortable. An example for a fear for asking for help is maybe, example, asking your brother to reach a high shelf if they're taller than you, asking your sister for help on a math homework, asking your dad for anything as well as your mom, asking to walk Mr. Patel's dog, ask the store attendant for help, asking for strangers for directions. Pay close attention to what happens when you try a new worrisome thing is number 3 of it. What is the worst thing that could risk happen? You need to ask yourself, does this happen a lot on the regular or not? And how would people respond, or how do people respond? You need to question yourselves, and then just once you get those answers, you may think, it's clicking in. 4. Imagine how you would react to a person who does the thing you're afraid of doing. Would you be mad at someone who stuttered, mixed up their words, flapped their hands, or awkwardly entered into a conversation that they didn't belong? How long would it take for you to get over it and move on, or move on forward? Most people don't care as much as you might have imagined, basically. So, again, we're all humans, obviously. It's just finding out uniqueness and embrace it as well. Number 5. Try some anxiety reduction techniques. You can use these as you try new social situations and tackling the list that has been provided as mentioned in this video. These work for many anxious and autistic people. Try plenty of techniques and choose your favorites. Like, for example, some things that may help you guys is positive self-talk and affirmations that you can do every day. Talking in front of the mirror while you're doing this. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am here. I am alive. I am breathing. Do the I am statements just to build your confidence up. Number 2 could be your breathing techniques. Focus on your breathing, Breathe in 1, count for 10 seconds, release for 10 seconds. Do that at least 5 times until hopefully you can go about your day. Visualization. Go into a quiet place, maybe of your favorite place, and actually just sit down somewhere quiet for a moment, and maybe sit down, close your eyes, and imagine yourself in that particular spot that's in your calm and in your space of calm and aura that makes you feel good about yourself. Cost-benefit analysis. progressive muscle relaxation. What I mean here is maybe some, I don't know, some autistics may like to be massaged, some do not. Some just may just need to basically do the next step over self-hypnosis, just to knock them out so that they can think. Engage with your senses, you know, of your 5 classic senses. What I mean here for these 5 classic senses of engaging with them is, with these anxiety reduction techniques, is, you know, you need to ask yourself those questions. You know, is there a reason to fear the situation at hand? You know, what can I smell? What can I taste? What can I hear? You know, etc., etc. Once you get that out of the way, you can hopefully expose yourself to that fear and tackle it head on. Anyway, number 6 is give yourself plenty of downtime. You don't want to push yourself too hard or stress out. Spend plenty of time on your special interest that you enjoy. Give yourself the quiet time each day you need. Allow yourself to be autistic in yourself, and if it means stimming, meltdown, or whatever that you've been withholding or suppressing for that time period while you've been socializing. And get a lot of sleep at night, because most of us autistics may be really tired at the end of the day. Number 7 is hang out with people whom you can be yourself around, because obviously this is important for anybody, because obviously we all want to be accepted, right? And you know, we need to hopefully be able to feel that we can be ourselves and whatever it may be. So in saying this, hopefully we can and will be able to be accepted by others. Maybe our brother or sister is a great listener, your autistic friend is super sweet, or your mom is always there for you anyway, so you feel that you can be around her, that makes you happy and want to be with them. So again, they obviously love us for who and what we are. Last but not least is believing in yourself. If there's anything that will make or break your attempt to become social, it's determined by who you are and about how you feel about yourself, about basically embracing yourself in a different light. You know, yes, of course I'm different. Yes, of course I may stim. Yes, of course I may have meltdowns. Whatever it may be. You want to become less shy in order to do it, right? You need to be able to shake off your mistakes and carry on. And my tip here is, at the end of the day, hopefully, you know, with shaking these mistakes and that, what I've shared with you of the steps on becoming less shy, always keep trying. Never be afraid of failures. Always embrace those changes, even though I know some of us autistics can't embrace the change all at once. It's just baby steps, believe you me, sort of thing. I've done a video on this also, which I might hopefully look for the playlist of Autism and Change series for you guys, of different topics that may come into effect that you may be facing, for tips and advice. So at the end of the day, basically, you'll be proud of yourself and be glad that you actually have overcome this in your own right. So this quickly ends basically a quick short video of a quick video guide for you guys for autistics to become less shy. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Smash the like if you have, and feel free to comment below for the ones that are autistic that may have broken off their shyness, and if they have, basically how did they overcome it. Feel free to share your stories or tips for others to hopefully follow, because like I said, hopefully we can just embrace our differences. In saying this also, feel free to follow me on the social medias, as well as in saying this, if you want to join me on the bandwagon, as mentioned earlier, feel free to subscribe on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And as saying this, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And as well as this, also, as I said before, I've created merch online, and hopefully in saying this, if anyone's interested, feel free to visit there. The link will be in the description, and maybe floating on the screen somewhere. So enough of you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Do what love and do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you things that. Ciao for now.